Hey everyone, this is going to be the steel update that everyone's been asking me about. I still got the bottle. I don't know, I just found it in my laundry room, so I pulled it out for the video. But I've had a few comments of people asking for an update. Oh, my mic was moved. Hopefully it didn't sound terrible. An update on the steel, because I said in my last video on steel supplements, the mass stack, that I would kind of talk about it a few months later. And here we are a few months later after a bit of a break. Apologies for that. But I'm doing the final update. I'm going to try to get in 5 minutes, but I tend to like run on about things. But anyways, straight to the point. I did this back a few months before summer started, or right at the beginning of summer. I did the mass stack. And I did the 1 andro, and I finished with the alpha AF. And if you've seen those videos, I was disappointed halfway through. I was uncertain at the start of it. At the end of it, I was like, eh. Either way, depends on what you're looking for, or I guess it just depends on the person. But a few months later, right, when I did this stack, I actually was in a calorie maintenance for the most part. Now, I believe I might have mentally been working out a little bit harder, thinking, right? Because when you take something like this, you work out harder, and I believe I might have been a little under maintenance, so I did lose some weight. But then again, you got to think about water and things like that. During the day when I, weighed myself for the video, I believe I was a few pounds light. And these people in the comments, this one guy specifically, he was like, "Oh my God, like you take the mass stack and you're not eating." It's a good point, but I just wanted to keep my calories stable and see what it did, without I guess feeding it more. Unfortunately, I don't think that was the move. I think you should probably eat a shit ton when you're on this. Obviously good food, but that was mainly the point where I was like, it's all right. I think that was a causing factor of me not, getting a lot from it. But a few months later, I actually went through it could have been almost a month where I was like, it was after the stack and everything, where I had, my diet wasn't right. I wasn't sleeping right. I was stressed out. I actually started a business and things like that. Well, I went in with my mother and did it, but I lost a little bit of weight, and it's sort of that when you get that skinny fat, like you're not holding on to your muscle and you're getting a little smaller, but you're like trading muscle for fat. That sort of started to happen. I was stressed out. I bought a whole home gym thing in my garage, and that wasn't working. I have a video on that too, by the way. But I decided to get back on the food grind. And so I went from, you can't really tell. It's hard to tell on camera, but I went from about 189, 190 to right now I'm at 215. And that jump for me is really easy. That 25 pounds is that 25 pounds? Yes, it is 25 pounds. That 20 pound gain for me is really easy, up and down. It's really hard to go over probably 120. I can't get over that, 220. And it's also hard for me to go down. And that, I believe, is just due to the way I diet, and it's not very good. Mainly because I don't like to cook, and I like to spend my money on things that aren't food, because it just doesn't feel right when you're spending money on food and then it's just gone. And it's wow, that's how I feel. But I got to change that whole thinking process, and I'm going to be doing a video on that as well for those people that are like me and they don't like spending money on food, and they don't like cooking, and they just don't like eating. It's a lot of work. But when you go to the gym 6 days a week and you're not getting bigger, it's kind of like shit. It's kind of worth it. So that's where I was at, and that's why I packed on a bit of weight. So in my my abs, looking great right now, but they're still kind of there. But I wanted to talk about eating and the mass stack, right? I'm already at 5 minutes, so I got to get going. So a lot of people take the mass stack and they just indulge, okay? And they, do kind of a bulk thing. They get stronger. It's oh my God, I got so much stronger. It's the mass stack. And I'm probably going to be doing this again. So I've done this once without eating a lot. Now I've done no stack, and I've eaten in a surplus for a while. And the next step I'm going to do is take the stack and eat a surplus and see if it's the actual mass stack giving me the gains or if it's the increased calorie giving me the gains. And I'll do that video in a few months when like I'm not with people and I can do the stack again. And if I want to kill somebody, it's not, it's not a big deal. But my overall opinion, just based on what happened with me eating, I went from 190 to about 205 probably right away. And that was just like a sign of, I wasn't eating enough and my body like wanted to hold on to some weight. And let me tell you what happened to my strength, everything. I got significantly bigger. Like a lot of the shirts that I had at 190 where I like looked good, maybe with my shirt off, they don't fit. And my legs are always small. They got big, and now I got this weird rub thing going on in between my legs, like in the, like chafing sort of thing, because my legs are like getting big, and I've never had that really. But my, so to speak, hypothesis is just that when people are doing this mass stack, they eat a lot because, that's obviously probably what you should do in a mass stack where you're building muscle. You need more calories. But I think that a lot of the strength gain, the size gain, might not be entirely from the mass stack, might be the eating. But again, I'm going to do another video where I do a stack and I eat and compare it to when I didn't do a stack and I ate, and then compare it to when I did do the stack and I maintained. But a few months later, my overall review, I honestly feel like no different like from where I was, right? So this is me before the stack. And this is me now. I don't think what I did with the stack in between got me to this point any quicker or any slower or anything. I don't look like some, superhuman. I didn't get this massive size in the videos that I posted. I didn't look any different. And again, it could have been my diet, or it could be just that they don't work. For the amount of money they are, I don't think you guys should be spending your money on it. Unless it, like I said in my last final update, if you got money burning a hole in your pocket, take it, try it, see if it works for you. Eat in a little bit of a surplus, don't go crazy, and see what happens. It's not a bad product. It's just, I don't think it's as hyped as you might have seen on YouTube, on ads, things like that, basically. It might be also better for more of the less trained. I've been working out for, I'm 22, 7 years. 7 years. A pretty good amount. I played football. My numbers are like I'm not like weak. I'm pretty big, like not in a cocky way. Just from where I was to now, I've gained like a decent amount of size, more than like average natty young kids do when they don't know what they're doing when they're working out and things like that. And I don't know if that affected how this worked. If maybe like I'm just like kind of have an old training age, so to speak, and I should have done something more intense. Not saying you should do anything too intense, but there was also, now this is a little bit of science, and if you stuck around this long, there's also a study I recently read about pro-hormones like this and steroids. Now, I'm not trying to promote steroids by any means. I haven't done them. I don't think I'll do them until I'm like starting to really like struggle and be old and like, and then I'll be like a, juiced 50-year-old. But the cons that come with a pro-hormone that your liver, has to work to basically get the final steroid-like substance, they have a lot of like downfalls, which is like all those bad things you hear about from like possibilities of taking still supplements, right? Whereas in this study, I don't remember where it was. Maybe I'll pull it up in the editing, but I don't have Wi-Fi, so I don't know if I can do that. Basically, the people that took these steroids ended up with way better results, way less side effects because they have, they know what they're doing. They're not going crazy. They got good dosage, and they're, doing it in as healthy as a manner as you can. Whereas people that are taking all these weird pro hormones and, like these backdoor sorts of supplements, they ended up having some serious problems with like gyno and things like that. Just, you know, if you're like on the edge of like, oh, do I want to do something hard, as you know, I think they call it gear on like TikTok and things like that. I think everyone's called it gear for a long time. But, or if you want to like just do a pro hormone from one of these places, if you're like seriously like maybe you're competitive or things like that, and being natural isn't a big deal, I would think twice about putting some pro hormones in your body that like aren't super I guess researched. I mean, even on this bottle it says FDA, right? You see right there. But little do you know, if you read the fine print, it says manufactured in an FDA registered facility. The product or anything, it's not like FDA approved or anything like that. So they could be doing whatever. Just take it with a grain of salt when you're taking things like this. A lot of the times you sacrifice your body a little bit more to go the legal way, if that makes sense. And it's just unfortunate that's how it goes. Anyways, that's my 2 cents on the stack that I did. Where I'm at now, I don't think the stack got me here any quicker. It might have even slowed me down. No, it didn't slow me down. It didn't get me quicker. The biggest thing you can do if you want to just get yoked is just eat some food. I mean, like, eat good food and eat a lot. And if you're one of those people that can't gain weight, like I'm hitting the 215 point where I can't exactly gain weight very easily. You just gotta eat when you don't want to. Literally, that's all you have to do. I'm starting to do it. It's kind of miserable, but you'll start gaining, and the strength gains from it are 10 times better than what I personally got from this. I mean, I felt unreal after hitting like the weight, like 5 pounds more than I've probably like ever weighed in a while, like 210, 212. You just feel insanely strong. You feel good, and so right away you might get kind of fat, right? You might like gain a lot of weight. But as your metabolism is like slowly adjusting and spooling up to the high calorie intake, and therefore the more calories, the more energy, the harder you work out, the more you burn. It's sort of a cycle. So you're gonna have like this spike, and then as you get stronger and you've gained all this weight, your body's like, oh crap, starts spooling up the metabolism. You kind of level off a little bit, because I went up, I hit almost 220, and then that is as high as I could get. And then like my metabolism caught up, and now I'm kind of stuck at like 210-ish, and I can't really get back up, and I'm actually struggling to fight the weight loss that's happening now that I'm working out a lot because of all these extra calories and the metabolism increase. But yeah, I keep getting on tangents, off topic. Steel supplements, if you want to try it and you got the money sitting around, go for it. I've got a lot of videos on like what it makes you feel like, things like that. It just might not be the best choice. And if you don't have the money, or it's like, and you're really thinking about it, I would focus more on maybe even diet. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there, you new guys, or even people that have been working out for a long time that haven't made progress, where it just comes down to periodization or like programming, the changing in volume, things like that you actually have to really focus on once you get a year or two into working out, where you don't get those newbie gains. There's a lot of things to look at before you start the stack or before you think of other supplements. But soon enough, I'm gonna have all that information coming onto the channel. I'm gonna be talking about programming. I might even do some, and I'm gonna throw them on the video. I'm gonna put them on YouTube for free. You guys can try them out. Things I've done, things I've had people that I know do, sort of like training, but not really, because they're just my friends that have gotten yoked and things like that for you guys to try. I'll have advice all the time, videos on diet. Not that I'm a dietitian or anything, but I learned a lot in college. I'll try. But anyways, that's all I really have to say. I'm sorry if it didn't like give you or tell you what you want to hear about this. I really wish if it worked, or if maybe I did it incorrectly and it does work, I would have bought. I'd have more right now. I would be probably getting more juicy, but this is not the case. I don't think it's that easy. This might help you a little bit, but unfortunately in my case, it didn't. It wasn't worth it. So thank you guys for watching the video. I'm done talking about steel supplements for a while, unless I try another product, but that is not likely. I don't know if I'll do another pro hormone after kind of reading up on sort of the consequences of choosing a backdoor supplement that kind of has to go through more of the body to get what you want. It just kind of seems to wreak havoc, and I just don't think I'm going to do that, mainly because I'm where I'm at now, and I don't think the steel supplements helped me gain any muscle or, you know, things like that. But again, thanks for watching. Sorry this is the end of the steel. I'll maybe do other products and just talk about it. Maybe I'll just do some research for the people that are curious. Do the research for you, like kind of crunch it up and put it out as a video. But I'm not going to be doing specifically another mass stack or steel supplements soon. So it's the end of steel. Videos you can look forward to, though, I'm going to be talking about my personal split, an app that I use to track my workouts that you guys can download and actually like see what I'm doing day to day. If you're curious, you can friend me, things like that. We can share workouts. I don't know anybody that uses it besides my friend group, because I was on the football team or whatever at DSU, and a lot of the guys that, you know, like I talk to, they're like, what do you use to like track everything? And it shows a lot. I'll get into that. It's not like I'm affiliated with this app. I found it years ago and I've loved it ever since. So everyone that I know, they use it and they see my workouts. I see theirs. You can comment. You can have like little conversations. But anyways, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel and like the video. I'll catch you guys in another one. Hey everyone, thanks for swinging by the channel today. If you enjoyed the video or the videos on the channel, drop a like, subscribe, and turn that bell on if you want to be notified for more videos. But again, thanks for coming by, and I'll see you guys in the next one.